Hey Evan, so it's Thursday, and I wanted to kind of tell you about some of the things that have happened the past few days that I didn't get to yesterday. I kind of forgot. Three things happened specifically. One of them was that I actually ran across a lady, a more senior lady that actually has been living out of her car for the past 20 years in Huntington Beach. And I completely forgot about it, but it was really interesting to get to talk to her because she wasn't someone that kind of got into that situation out of, desire. It was a necessity. She lost out on, the payment of her house. She defaulted and she didn't have any more capital to kind of really go forward and even pay down or pay for rent on a property. She just said, you know what, I'm just gonna live out of my car. I'll make it work. And she's lived in Huntington Beach for the past 20 years, and she's 70 now. So it was a pretty cool experience and perspective to kind of talk with her. And now I'm kind of working with her, trying to see budget wise if there's any possible way to for her to be able to find a property. But anyways, that's the first one. The second one was that this morning, actually, on the way to work, I was going full 25 hours or 25 miles an hour down the residential street, trying to get to work. And until my neighbor waves me down from the street, he's kind of jogging towards me, and he's waving me down, and I stop, roll down my window, I say, "Hey, what's up?" I've never seen this happen before. And so he says, "Hey, I just came across yesterday morning, there was like eggs and coffee on my backyard. Like people were throwing it over the fence, it seemed like. I know that you have a camera over there next to the garage pointing at my backyard. Is there any way you can pull up any footage? I just want to see who did it." I said, "Oh my, well, count me invested. I'm gonna find out right now." And I right then and there just scroll back real quick. Don't see anyone throwing anything specifically, but what we do see on that camera is a raccoon that has a small bag of like trash, and there was probably coffee in there, and it was pretty funny getting to see that. And I didn't even know raccoons are still around in this area where I am specifically. Um, but makes sense. But either way, those are the two just little interesting tidbits, little interesting bits of story there. But the third one was something I do want to talk about at length. And one thing that I do, it does interest me about is that, it's something where we have to ask about how much temperament is able to change and how much of a person's character is not. And the reason why is because I was actually prompted by someone to just take the test. They're kind of curious what I had. And I took it, and to my surprise, I actually had very, very different results. And those results, I was more extroverted. I am more extroverted apparently compared to 2 years ago. I am more assertive. I am less focused. I am more empathetic. I am less rational. And what's interesting is that never before really, I've taken the test multiple times before. I think, well, the past 6 years, I think I've taken it 3 times total. Yesterday was my third time. And so what really struck me was that never before was I really super different until now. And of course, we change as people. The environment has changed, especially over the past couple of years. I'm fully working now. I have to push myself a lot in certain ways. I learned a ton of different things. But I want to always question myself. What are the core pillars, the core characteristics of myself that I know, even all the way up until I'm on my deathbed, will always be the same? That will never become false or never will become true. What will stay the same? And that had been shaken a lot from seeing how different those results are. And I always felt like a test like that wasn't a holistic view on someone's character. It was always some very short-sighted. It didn't miss it. It missed at least some of the whole picture. But I think what something like that has a strength of, that we have available now, that we can take now and measure ourselves on now, is that we can compare it to ourselves, how we have taken that same test over the past couple of years, and kind of using that relative scale of ourselves to see how that has changed. I'm not really all about, comparing it to others and seeing how accurate that is, and, companies hiring on different team members because they have a specific acronym for the Myers-Briggs personality test. So It was, yeah. So I just want to extend that question to you, Evan, and ask, what parts of the character do you think are changeable? What do you think aren't? Is something like temperament necessarily not changeable because it's your temperament, something you're born with, right? How much do you believe someone can actually change their whole personality? Maybe that's a characteristic of itself. Maybe some people are just naturally not very malleable and some are very, very malleable. So I want to ask you, if you've taken it recently. If not, try to take it again. Or, whatever your results are. I completely forgot what yours are. And then so, Evan, I know you're out in Illinois. I think you're getting ready to come back, but I hope everything's been going well over there. And yeah, I'll see you Monday, Evan. All right, take care. Bye.